we not do the thing where we shit on Luka Doncic just because he didn't win the championship? It's a funny thing with expectations, because when a guy starts to exceed them, we take it and we run with it. We get ahead of ourselves. We say, oh my God, if you know, let's take Luka, for example. If Luka Doncic is getting, you know, to the second and third round, why can't he make the finals? And then he gets to the finals. Oh my God, why can't he win the finals? Why can't he do that? Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Like, he's passed all these other tests, so why can't he pass this one? And then if and when he doesn't, it naturally feels like a failure because we raised the bar and he failed to reach it. But like, what would happen if we just didn't get ahead of ourselves? What would happen if, you know, instead of like raising the bar and evaluating Luka based off that, we just like, we stayed in the moment, we evaluated how things looked in the moment, and then we went from there. Sounds like a crazy concept, right? But a lot of people don't really do that. And in the wake of Dallas losing in the finals, I've already seen like so much crazy criticism of Luka, and it's so insane because like it's this tough balance of acknowledging like, yes, Luka has problems that showed up in the finals. His defense was really, really bad. He needs to work on his composure and you know, just not complaining to the refs. It feels like a trivial thing, but no, dude, the energy, what you put your energy towards matters. And it also affects your teammates. You know, if they see you constantly complaining to the refs, it's not good for morale. So he definitely has those things he needs to work on. That's objectively true. And we learned that in these finals. But also like this dude got to the finals at 25 years old on a team that nobody expected to get to the finals, beat 350-win teams to get there. Like, that's not nothing, and he lost to the superior team. The Celtics were the superior team. You cannot question that in any sense of the word. Celtics were by far the better team, and so like, there's no shame in losing to that. And so like, you can criticize Luka, but like, this idea that like this season he came up short or he's a failure and all that stuff, and I'm not saying like everyone's saying that, but like I'm seeing bits of it, again, because we raised those expectations for him, because he's in the finals, but then ultimately fell short in a pretty, you know, it wasn't like he went down swinging in like 6 or 7 games. No, he struggled a lot. What was he like? I think in game 5 they said he was like 1 for his last 21 from 3, fouled out in game 3 and then blamed it on the refs. Like that's just not a good look. But it's just like, this stuff happens, man. Like, again, and this just goes back to the expectations thing, where it's like, oh my God, like how could Luka not thrive in the finals? Like, how could he not dominate? How could he not win? It's like, because he's 25 years old. 25-year-olds aren't supposed to be in the finals. If they're in the finals, it usually winds up being a learning experience. That's what it was for LeBron. That's what it was for Durant. Like, this stuff happens, and it happens for literally, it happened to Tatum a few years ago. He got there when he was, what, 23, 24? Like, this is what happens. It's usually a learning experience, and that's not an indictment on the player. It's just literally the natural course of how it works for so many young superstars, where you realize that there's levels to this. Just because you had success in the second round doesn't guarantee success in the conference finals. Just because you had success in the conference finals doesn't mean you're gonna have success in the finals. It's a learning process. You realize there's levels to greatness, and it makes you realize why winning a championship is so difficult, because there's levels to this. And so it's the balance of being able to, like I said, you know, you could say Luka Doncic has stuff to work on, because he objectively does. But to like create this overarching narrative that he failed this year because Dallas didn't win the championship, or because they didn't make it, you know, as good of a fight as maybe some people thought it would. Like, I picked Boston, but I picked Boston in 6, and it was a fairly non-competitive 5 games instead. You could say all that, but like, if we just like pause, take a deep breath, zoom out, and look at everything Luka accomplished this year in getting this team to the finals and the teams that they beat with the team he had. It's a great team, but it's not like some overwhelming, massive talent. For him to get that in the way that he did at 25 years old, again, it's weird because we raised the bar for him, so it feels like commonplace, but that's still really impressive for any 25-year-old to lead a team to the finals. Like, that's an impressive year, and like, I think he's gonna be just fine. Again, he's got some stuff to work on, but like, so did every 25-year-old young superstar. He's gonna work on it. I have no doubt he's going to use this as a learning experience. That's what they all do. Like, it's gonna be fine. This is par for the course for every young superstar. I'm not saying that means he's necessarily going to be back in the finals, because obviously the West is super loaded and you never know what's going to happen. But just like this idea that because Dallas fell short in the way that they did, that it's an indictment on Luka as a player, like, no, he's still really, really good, and this stuff just happens. It's natural for young superstars, and like, he's going to be fine. Trust me.